In this episode of Talking About Orcs, we're going over Ghazgkhull Thraka himself, the big boss. So he is a single model. He's movement 5, weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 5, strength 6, toughness 6, with 8 wounds, leadership 8, and a 2+ save. He is armed with a twin big shooter, custom claw, and stick bombs. Of course, only one of this model can be in your army. So twin big shooter, of course, is just a twin big shooter. He does have 36 inch range, so he can reach out a little bit. And the custom claw is strength times 2, minus 3 AP, and 3 straight up damage. So, and then of course there's no minus 1 to hit either. So that's pretty dangerous with 5 base attacks, which of course can be buffed with a weird boy, or if he's a warlord. And stick bombs, of course, nobody cares. He's got Here We Go, Mob Rule, and Daka. So of course if he is a Goth, which means if he is a warlord, he has to take the Goth trait, which is +1 attack, and of course they errated it to include a -1 additional AP on any turn he's charged, charged, or does a heroic intervention, taking his claw up to AP -4, which is pretty good, especially against knights. The best thing about Ghazgkhull Thraka, of course, is his abilities are not clan specific, because he is the leader of the Great Wa. Friendly Orc infantry units, again, no clan involved, within 6 inches of Ghazgkhull Thraka at the start of the charge phase can charge even if they advance this turn. In addition, add 1 to the attack characteristics of models in friendly Orc infantry units if they've made a charge move this turn, and Ghazgkhull Thraka is within 6 inches of that unit when they are chosen to fight. Of course, that means when you charge or pile in, you want to make sure you leave guys behind in a conga line to get to Ghazgkhull, because you definitely want that extra attack bonus. And being Goth, if you take Goth boys, of course, you get the extra hits, extra attacks on a 6. Ghazgkhull gets that too, so with 5 attacks, you're likely going to get probably at least 1 6, giving you an extra attack. And if he's a warlord, you get 6 base attacks, so you're almost guaranteed to get at least 1 6 every time you're in combat. And of course, since he is infantry, his Great Wa ability affects him too. So if he charges, or is charged, or if he charges, that means he gets +1 attack himself. If he's a warlord, now you've gotten 7 base attacks. When he charges, just on his own if he's a warlord. And you can give him +2 attacks if with Fists of Gork, psychic power too. So that's 9 attacks at 3 damage, AP -4. That's pretty nasty. Because remember, all auras affect that model too. There's no exceptions to that in the general rules, only if the rule says otherwise. So friendly Orc infantry units. He is an Orc friendly. He is a friendly Orc infantry unit, so that applies to him as well. Prophet of Ghazgkhull, Ghazgkhull Thraka has a 4-up invulnerable save. Very nice indeed. One of the best invul saves in the book. The boss is watching. Friendly Orc unit fails a morale test while within 6 inches of Ghazgkhull Thraka. You can restore order. It suffers D3 mortal wounds, but the morale test is considered to have been passed. Again, there is no clan with that. Ghazgkhull Thraka is the culture's undivided war boss. I know that's pretty bad, isn't it? But that's what he is. There's no limit to the cultures or clans that he is able to buff up and keep in order, unlike standard war bosses or other units which are clan specific. Ghazgkhull is not. So he is kind of spendy at 235 points, but he is a huge buff, especially if you run any sort of clan soup. That way you can keep him around to do all the Great Wa and bosses watching, instead of having to rely on a war boss for each individual faction. And he, as I said, is just absolutely pretty brutal in close combat. No doubt about that. And having a 4-up invul save is so nice. There's so few good invul saves in this book. Ghazgkhull Thraka is pretty much worth every single point he costs. He's an excellent war boss. He's a beat stick. He's got that invul save. There is no downside, and I think he's very well costed for what you get, both in terms of buffing other units around him. I mean, as the old just like in the index, with you can get 6 attacks per orc boy with Ghazgkhull Thraka. You've got, you know, the 2 base, 1 for Choppa, 1 for more than 20 models, 1 for Warpath, and 1 for Ghazgkhull Thraka when they charge. That's 6 attacks, and if they're Goths, you're going to be exploding 6s on those. And if you give them a War Banner, hitting on 2s, exploding 6s, with that combination, you're going to get more hits than attacks. More hits. That's right. I said that right. You're going to get more hits than you have attacks if you go Goth and War Banner combination. Which of course I'll go over again when I talk about boys. And with 6 base attacks, just oh my gosh, you're just going to be chopping through anything. And I said in their Goths, if there's Scar Boys on top of it, then you don't have to worry about wounding on 6s anymore either. Anything. I mean, 5s is the worst you're going to be. Yeah, so that's pretty much what Ghazgkhull is. He is a beat stick, and he is truly the prophet of Gork and Mork, able to take your boys to a whole nother level with all those extra attacks. And again, it doesn't matter what clan he's nearby. He is not clan specific as far as his abilities go, which is extremely powerful, because then you can do things like Evil Sons boys if you want to have them charge up really quickly and get that extra bonus attack from Ghazgkhull Thraka without having to worry about having an Evil Sons war boss nearby. I mean, that's could be crazy, but of course then you have to make a Goth detachment in addition to your Evil Sons detachment to do something like that. And he's good with Mega Knobs too, that extra attack from Mega Knobs. Especially Goth Mega Knobs where they're getting exploding 6s. I mean, there's just he's great. I mean, 12 power, 235 points. It's a bit of investment, but I said this is kind of be one character that's going to be worth every single point, pretty much every single time you play him, because he is a force multiplier. In addition to being an absolute beat stick in close combat. I really like him. I like Ghazgkhull Thraka in this book. I think he, combined with the cultures, the clan traits, it elevates him to another level as well as anything around him. So if you play Ghazgkhull Thraka, I have. It's amazing. Even though I forgot to add his extra attack when I played him, he's great because I don't have to worry about cultures or anything. He can just make infantry advance and charge. So again, let me know what you think of Ghazgkhull in the comments below, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching this episode of Talking About Orcs. Please subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications for new Talking About Orcs videos every Wednesday, new battle reports every Friday, and hobby videos whenever I can. Thanks for watching.